Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. I'm Fred, and this is episode 172.
And I'm Daphne. It's great to be back. Today we're getting into a topic that seems to be causing a lot of friction and honestly a lot of confusion for professionals. We're talking about navigating the anxiety around adopting AI.
That really is the mission today, isn't it? If you're listening, you're probably looking for knowledge that's quick, that's thorough, and that you can use right away. And frankly, there's nothing harder to nail down right now than artificial intelligence. It feels like we just swing wildly between, utopian hype and this paralyzing moral panic.
Exactly. And this whole conversation was actually suggested by our producer, Curt Robbins, because the source material for today, it just cuts right through all that noise. We're looking at this really insightful article by Luke Joerger. It's called How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love AI. And it was published on LinkedIn back on January 6, 2026.
And that title, of course, is a direct nod to Dr. Strangelove. It sets the perfect tone, I think. Our goal here is to really move past the fear, past the knee-jerk reactions, and start to embrace AI as what it is, a powerful everyday tool for your career.
Okay, so let's start with what the author basically calls his confession. Joerger admits right up front that his usage is intense. We're not talking about casual curiosity. He says he uses it obsessively, constantly, multiple times a day.
Obsessively is almost an understatement. He lists it all: outwork, writing, digital marketing, business emails, and then he gets into the really human stuff, like recipes, travel tips, and my personal favorite, trying to solve his new puppy's barking problem.
And that kind of intense practical use, he says he logged 1,500 prompts in ChatGPT alone in 1 year. It gives him the authority to talk about what actually works for a professional, versus what's just theoretical hype.
And he wastes no time. He goes right for the throat of the oldest argument out there, the plagiarism myth.
The one we've all heard.
Exactly. Ethan Hawke famously dismissed AI as merely a plagiarism device. It sounds smart, but Joerger argues it's just a fundamental misunderstanding of what the tech is actually doing.
It dramatically undersells it. His counter-analogy is just brilliant. He says, calling AI just plagiarism is like saying the printing press was just copying handwriting faster.
Right. It's technically true, but it misses the entire revolutionary point.
Exactly. The printing press didn't just copy handwriting. It's standardized knowledge, it compressed it, it spread it at a scale that changed society. AI is doing something similar, but with unstructured data. It's not just duplicating, it's an organizational engine.
So it compresses, it connects, it reorganizes information.
Right. It takes these oceans of information and contextualizes them into something you can actually use. He calls it originality's intern who never sleeps.
That's a great way to put it. An intern who can synthesize all the complexity on demand, I think that really reframes it for anyone facing information overload.
Totally. And, as the plagiarism argument has kind of faded, there's always a new moral panic to take its place. The author brings up the concern about water usage by AI data centers.
Oh, yeah. That one is very loud right now. The sustainability of it all. You hear these scary stats about how many liters of water are needed for just one chatbot interaction.
And we should be aware of consumption, of course, but perspective really, really matters here. Joan Pager points out this stunning counterpoint. Globally, golf courses use hundreds of times more water every year than all AI facilities combined.
Wow. That is a staggering comparison.
Isn't it?
But I wonder, is that comparison entirely fair? A golf course uses water for grass. AI uses it to run the tools that are, let's be honest, becoming mandatory for career success. The utility is different.
And that's the tension. Joan Pager admits that. He says real concerns, labor, creative ownership, governance, are completely legitimate. They need serious conversation. But his point is that these easy-to-panic about criticisms often overshadow the massive, immediate utility that's available to you, the working professional.
So we need to stop worrying so much about the hype and start worrying about, writing bad prompts.
That's the perfect transition, because moving from that anxiety to actual utility brings us right to the secret of making AI work. Prompts matter. A lot.
This isn't about just typing in, write me a report.
Not at all. The quality of your thinking shows up immediately. It's the classic rule, but on steroids. Garbage prompt, garbage output, thoughtful prompt, surprisingly sharp results.
And the most powerful prompting technique he mentions is, honestly, so simple. Dictation.
Yes,
Yeah,
just
I mean-
talking. An executive, a marketer, an author, You can often think way faster than you can type. And that blank screen, it just creates friction, dictation, just rambling into your phone, stream of consciousness. It lets you get all your messy, unstructured thoughts out there instantly.
And the real power is that the AI then takes that and organizes it, it refines it, it structures it. I mean, imagine leaving a big meeting, talking for 10 minutes about the key decisions, and having the AI immediately turn that into a structured email for your team.
It just removes the friction between the thought and the typed word. You get to outsource that internal editor that slows everyone down.
So connecting this to career success, AI is great at these really crucial professional things. It structures your arguments, it turns messy ideas into coherent drafts.
And it helps you get to the point, often more politely than you might manage on your own.
That's a huge one. It handles the emotional labor of communication. It can rewrite those angry emails you know you shouldn't send.
Right. It takes your first draft, which might be a little aggressive, and makes you sound calmer, clearer, and frankly, a lot smarter.
This lowering of friction is just an immense value add, especially for maybe older professionals or anyone who didn't grow up using tools like Slack or Notion.
Absolutely. AI bridges that gap. You can just speak your expertise, and the technology organizes it into professional content. The resistance just melts away when you see how much faster you can be.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast. Okay, so before the break, we were talking about how AI lowers friction in writing and communication. Now we have to talk about where the disruption is moving at just breakneck speed, high-speed content creation, specifically video.
This is where the pace of change is genuinely dizzying. Tools like Sora and all of its cousins are turning video from what the author calls a precious, slow, overproduced artifact into something fluid and scalable.
For years, video meant a crew, a location, lights, a huge budget. It was slow. AI is just eliminating those bottlenecks. And for anyone in marketing or communications, that's huge because video dominates everything.
The author gives this really striking example of Marshall Goldsmith, the leadership expert. He literally deleted all his old, manually produced Instagram posts, and he started completely fresh with 100% AI-generated content. He even launched his Marshall BOT for free coaching.
That's a serious commitment to utility over tradition. I mean, he didn't just dip a toe in, he redefined his entire digital presence.
We're seeing this in the agency world, too. Joerger's own company, Hastings Digital, he says they now create hundreds of videos a week for clients. Hundreds. Concepts that took weeks of pre-production and editing now take hours. The physical limits are just gone.
But the question then is, what's the risk with that high volume? Does it just create more noise, more low-quality saturation? If everyone can make hundreds of videos, does it just get harder for the good stuff to stand out?
That's the critical risk. And that's why this idea of redefining craft is so important. Joerger has like 30 years of production experience. He talks about shooting on film and splicing it with a straight razor.
Oh, wow, literally cutting film with a razor. Okay, so he understands what's being lost, or at least what's changing.
Exactly. And he argues that the agencies that survive will be the ones who redefine craft. It's not about manual skill anymore, not operating a camera or splicing tape. It's about strategic direction, nuanced prompting, and sophisticated content strategy. The craft shifts from how you make it to what you tell the system to make and why.
And we're seeing this same quiet takeover in the music industry. While everyone is debating royalties and ethics, AI-generated tracks are already on the Billboard charts. Not as some big novelty, but just there. Because they sound good.
The irony is just perfect. The same industry that panicked about drum machines is now watching algorithms climb the charts. It just proves that utility always wins in the end.
Audiences don't care how the sausage is made. You know, as the author puts it, if it slaps, it slaps. The lesson for professionals is so clear. Focus on the output, not on the purity of the process.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? I think the core takeaway from Luke Joerger's article is that AI is now fundamentally embedded in how we work and think. Ignoring it doesn't make you principled. It just makes you slower and less effective than your competition.
Right. And the goal, going back to that Dr. Strangelove reference, is to stop worrying and learn to love the utility. You have to understand the system well enough to use it responsibly. The biggest mistake you can make is just stopping at the basics.
It's time to move past just basic prompting and dictation and really start thinking about the future ecosystem of AI in your career.
Exactly. Building on the author's perspective, we'd encourage you to start thinking about how AI will reshape not just your immediate tasks, but your entire content strategy, your social media, your personal brand in the next decade. Strategic use of AI, that is the next battlefield for professional success.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.